Hey. What's going on, guys? What is going on? I hope all is well. I hope and trust all is well. How are you guys today? Hope all is well on your side, huh? We are back in the building. Back to get to it. Back to get it right. Hopefully you guys had a productive day. And if you did not, you should be ashamed of yourself. Huh? You should be ashamed of yourself. Well, yeah, we back here. We back to get it popping, to get to it. Touch on some things, some key things, huh? Oh, you know what tonight is. Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tonight's a special night. Tonight's a very special night, huh? You know what tonight is? Manhood Mondays. Oh, yeah. Let's give it up. Manhood Mondays. Yeah, it's time to tap in. Church check in, huh? Church check in. Check it out though. Tonight's gonna be a little bit different, huh? Tonight's gonna be a little bit different of Manhood Mondays. Tonight's actually a mashup Manhood Mondays. Oh, new style. A mashup Manhood Mondays. What do I mean by mashup Manhood Mondays? What I mean is Manhood Mondays mixed with trending news. Oh, it's going to be explosive. Take a seat. Get ready. Get the popcorn. We're going to tap in. Huh? But you know, we got to do some early cleaning. Get to some early business. If you don't know what that is, you know what I always ask you to do. Huh? If you don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe. That would be fantastic. Please do me the honor of like, share, and subscribe. Again, if you don't mind. That would be a great benefit to me, right? It's free. But it will cost a lot. Okay? It holds great value if you just like, share, and subscribe. Right? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Right? This is where it's at right here, baby. This is where it's at. This is that flow over here on Facts Over Feelings. Okay? Facts Over Feelings. All right? We are on the road to 1K subscribers. It's a milestone. It's a small milestone, but a milestone nonetheless. All right? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And the journey of 1,000 subs begins with one sub. All right? Of course, I'd prefer to have it be a bit more faster than that, but you get the actual picture. You get the gist of it all, right? But that's going to be a fantastic mashup Manhood Monday. All right? It's going to be some key things to tap in on tonight. Some things to really consider. I think you guys know where I'm going with this, with the mashup Manhood Mondays. It's been some key things going on the past few days. You know where I'm going with it. The Shedeur Sanders quagmire, right? We got to get into the meat and the potatoes, all right? But I know everybody's seen it. We're going to dive right in. We're not going to spend no time dancing around, pussyfooting around. No. Jumping right in. All right? Head first. Pause. But I'm sure you guys have all heard the story, right? The narrative. Everybody's talked on the unfairness of Shedeur getting chosen in the 5th round. That's crazy. We know that. We know the narrative. We know the whole history behind that. We get it. But I believe there's points in the conversation that's not being touched on. Right now, I believe the conversation is a very surface level conversation. Very surface level. I get it. But, certain people have to be deemed with the task taking you a little bit further. That's my job. Oh, and I'm going to do it. and I'm gonna do it. All right, but we're gonna get to it because the real target was not Shedeur. He got targeted, but he wasn't the real target. All right, the real target was Mr. Prime Time himself, Neon Dion. Not for what you may think it was. All right, it was the image that Prime Time today purports. All right, it's not just who he is, but it's the image that he purports. That's the real target. Okay, that's the real target. Pardon me. Oh, got the stogie on deck. The tea is hot. Gotta tap in, man. Gotta set the stage properly. All right. Okay. Let me just pardon me. I toasted it. Now we gotta fully light. All right. So the true target was Dion, but not just Dion himself. It's what Dion represents today, the image. That's the real target. Okay. So, but what do I mean by that? If you all recall, the very first episode of Manhood Mondays, very first, this is prophetic, it's prophetic. Okay. You'll see it as time goes further. All right. But the very first episode of Manhood Mondays was titled Black Man Reclaim Your Image. I told you it was prophetic, man. Okay, I'm surgical with this bad boy, all right? But I said manhood, pardon me, black man reclaim your image. Why did I say that, though? Because other people, as it stands right now, are in control of your image, right? And if it's in control of somebody else's hands, they're going to do with it what they will, all right? And the last thing, people who have agendas, we know who they are, all right? Them, yes, them. Whoever came to your mind just now, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, all right? Anyway, we're going to keep going. Probably not, but you get it. But it's in their best interest, whoever they are, to ensure that your image stays abased. All right, you might have to get some dictionaries, some thesauruses to get the full understanding of what's being promulgated through these actual airwaves. All right, but we're gonna increase the cognition here. We're gonna increase the frequency here because we all there, whether you know it or not. We all there. Right? Well, what's the image that they would prefer? They would prefer the image promoted to be Neon Dion, to be Mr. Must Be the Money. Remember that? Probably a song, by the way. But that's what people who have agendas would prefer. That image. Mr. Must Be the Money. Mr. Flashing, dashing, as we do, right? As we can do. That's the preferred image. Okay? Especially when you're on a grand stage for all to see, and you're influential, and you are the original man. Other people would prefer for your image to be abased, right? Once you begin to stand on your square, other people will fear. All right? Once the original man stands on his square, other people will fear. All right? Now, what does this have to do with the whole Shedeur Dion fiasco? Okay? The real target was to really abase and bring down the frequency of who Dion is now. All right? So that does not become popular. He is already an influential person. And influence is the greatest power out here right now. All right? But because he's influential, they will prefer for the original man to push the image that's abased, not the one that's astute. All right. Yeah, just come low down. Don't think I can't give it up. All right. Okay. So, in the past, Dion was, prime time, flashy, all the girls, we get it. All right. That was the abased Dion. The Dion today is the evolved Dion. All right. Dion the involved father. Dion the Christian. Right? Dion the promoter of discipline. Dion the promoter of men taking care of their communities. Also, Dion the one promoting discipline and to steer clear of the Jezebels. All right. So, that's what he did when he was coaching in Jackson State. Is it Jackson State? I think it was Jackson State, and also in Colorado. Right. You forget that he turned the whole institution around. All right. They don't want that. They don't want that. They want him to have parties with a bunch of big booty joints out there. All right. But he wasn't doing that. He brought in a big booty joint, Brittany Renner. But not for the purposes of entertainment, for the purposes of teaching. All right. Teaching what? Well, Brittany Renner, I guess you could say being a reformed hoe, right? She's going to teach them the tricks and the trade of hoism. All right. And what to look out for, the pitfalls to look out for, right? To not be a trick, okay? Because we've seen this story before in the past. It's nothing new, right? This is an old story, okay? You take a bunch of people who come from disenfranchised situations, and you give them a whole bunch of money with no discipline, they go berserk. They go crazy. Babies all over the place, all right? That's not what Dion was promoting. Dion was promoting discipline. He was promoting being responsible, right? Being a good steward of not only your money, but of your time and your body, all right? That's not a image that people want promoted, especially as it relates to the original man, right? Because once the original man is on his square, say it with me, everybody else will fear. All right. They know what it is. We're not going to play that game. We're not going to play a deception game. We're not doing that. All right. But that's really what it is. Okay. And that was the target, not Shedeur. Right. Not Shedeur. The target was, that's not popular, bro. Who Dion is right now, that's not popular. And that will be vilified. You feel me? That's the message that was trying to be sent. Okay. Now it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay. Because it's only but so long the God's going to sleep. Right. Well, we're awake now. Okay. We're awake now. We're more strategic. And we're promoting discipline. Right. And a whole host of other things. That's really the purpose of also Manhood Mondays. So I can do my part. If everybody does their part, bro, forget about it. There's no leaders here. Everybody does what they must do. All right. There's no leaders here. The code is the leader. All right. The culture is the leader. That's actually what Dion was doing. He was changing the culture of college football. All right. The culture in the past was a bit more rooted in pleasure, right? Being undisciplined. That was the culture in the past. The culture that he's changing it into right now is being disciplined, being responsible, being a man of your word, right? Being accountable. That's a different type of culture than that's being promoted right now, especially today, right? So that is really what was being targeted. Okay, not Shedeur. Shedeur is really a bystander in the whole operation. All right, and not even so much Dion. It's what and who and what Dion represents today, right now. That was being targeted there. Okay, and they figure if they humiliate you, right, for all to see, what is that supposed to do? It's supposed to. It won't, but it's supposed to discourage you from standing on your square. All right, from replicating and duplicating the image that Dion is promoting right now. Right, that's the purpose of it, to discourage that. Okay, and we're seeing this is not a new story. This is old. This is old. Okay, this is an old trick. The devil don't got no tricks, man. All right, it's the same trick is being played a different way, but the devil don't have new plays or new tricks. Okay. So peep game. Okay, peep game. That's the goal, to make that image, the God image, right? The God image, peace, proper education always corrects errors, right? The God image, unpopular. Peep game. That's the goal, all right? And that was their goal. Okay. Now, if it worked, time will tell. Time will tell. Okay. There's always going to be an 85%. Always. All right. There's always going to be a 5%. There's always going to be a 10. Okay. So it's going to be a 10. Okay. So don't get lulled to sleep. Right. Don't get the wool pulled over your eyes and drug into the narrative that they want you in. All right. Shedeur was not the target, neither was Dion himself. It's what Dion represents. That was the true target. All right? That was the true target. You feel what I'm saying? So take with that what you will, but understand, you being, it's just wild and crazy, but you being disciplined as the original man. That's the fear. Makes everybody run for the hills. All right. So it don't got to be just one Dion, right? And there's not just one. To keep it a stack, right? To keep it a stack. 9 out of 10 original men are like that, right? Are like that. But it's also why they promote Pop the Balloon, and they disparage that image, right? And all these other programs, the platforms that they show on YouTube and whatever have you, the goal is to disparage that image. You know what I'm saying? To make it seem uncool, right? So, with that being said, don't be a surface dweller, all right? Don't be a surface scavenger, okay? Don't allow them to lull you to sleep. That wasn't the real game. There's games on top of games, and there's agendas on top of agendas. All right. So, yeah, it was a tragedy what happened with Shedeur. It was, but he's gonna be all right though. He's gonna be all right. You know, was it racism? No, I've heard that narrative too. Oh, it's racist. It wasn't racism, right? Because the majority of other people that got drafted in the first, and you go, it was all black. I mean, not all of them, but the majority, 9 out of 10 of them was black anyway. Right, so it wasn't that, right? So what could it be? That's what it was, right? That's what it was. A way to disparage the image of the evolved original man, which is who Dion is today. All right. Yeah, he was Mr. I got the money. Now today he's I got the family, bro. All right. That's the real wealth. Keep it a stack. All right, that's the real wealth. But with that being said, this is Manhood. This was the Mashup Manhood Mondays. All right, this is the Mashup Manhood Mondays. You never know what you're gonna get. Facts over feelings, baby. But you know what you're gonna get is the real from your boy. All right. Well, we're gonna holler at you. What's today? Thursday. We're gonna get it. Get it popping again. Thursday is going to be trending news solely. All right, solely. Might be a little jovial, a little fun. You know, it's going to be informative. You know how I give it up. Entertainment all day. All right. But I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Peace to the fam. Peace to the original man. Peace to Sons of Nerves. Everything. All right. Holla at y'all later, man. Facts over feelings.